Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Cowboys put up 35 points on the road at Ford Field today as they take down the Lions and move to 6-4 on the season, right as we are about to get real busy here in the month of November. Welcome in to Cowboys Game Night here from the Star in Frisco. Lindsay Draper joined by Nate Newton as always. And Nate, wow, what an offensive performance this was today behind Dak Prescott. 444 yards in the air, 2 100-yard receivers, and, hey, the defense didn't play that bad either.
No, I think they played well today as a team collectively. Started out slow once again, got the turnover, a rare thing by Zeke, but they righted themselves, and then, boy, when they righted themselves, Dak took off in a big way, man. Like you said, 200-yard receivers, one being Randall Cobb, the other being Michael Gallup, and Amari, he was still nice, but those other two guys showed out. We saw appearance by Blake Jarwin, a little bit of Ezekiel Elliott. Offensive line got to get better versus the run block. But, hey, overall, this team played well.
Yes, they did. And we have an all-star lineup of interviews for you tonight. The first one being Leighton Vander, who is with Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg. Guys?
Lindsay, thank you. The Cowboys defense was stretched to its limits today, but Leighton Vander looked like Leighton Vander out there today, and a huge part of the win. Congratulations on that win. Was it a kind of a morale booster for the defense to make the plays you had to make when you made them?
Yeah, but we still got a ton to clean up, so that's the positive thing. The positive thing we can take away from it. Just being consistent, being disciplined every single snap, taking it one play at a time.
And their quarterback Driscoll presented a different problem because it's the first time in a while now that you faced a guy that can really run with the football. So what problem did that present coming in, and how do you think you handled it?
Just our keys. That's like just locking in on your keys, and like I said, being disciplined every single play, because you know that you got to keep him in the pocket on plays. I mean, he can extend the play like just as good as any of them. It seems like so, and he did it today. But we got to keep guys like him in the pocket and not let them get outside of us. And on design quarterback runs, we just got to be locked in on our keys.
It was obvious that you were locked in on those keys, you in particular, and 2 or 3 other guys several times. And then just when you think you've got some breathing room, here they come back again, score, cut it to 1 score. Did you ever feel comfortable in the game? I don't mean you individually, but as a group.
I don't think you should ever feel comfortable in the NFL, ever. As soon as you feel comfortable, that's when it's going to bite you. So you should never, ever feel comfortable. If you're ahead by 30 points, 40 points, you got to go out there and play football like you know how to play football.
And that last
no
drive,
excuses.
That last drive was obviously big, getting them off the field. How big was that sack that really forced them out of a chance to really go for it on 4th down?
Yeah, that's a testament to our D line, just coming after him time and time again. We let him get out of the pocket sometimes, and we just got to be consistent with keeping him in the pocket, keeping him in the cage. We really harped on that this week. It's pro football. They got theirs, and we got ours. So
guys talk all the time, and I believe mostly that they don't look ahead in the schedule, and they don't know who. We talked to a bunch of guys last week who had no idea that this is where we're coming this week. Do you know who you're playing next?
Absolutely. I'm already moved on to them.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah, and are you excited about that?
Oh, yeah. I'm thrilled to play them. So it's going to be a good test for us. I think it's going to be fun.
I'm not going to be the one to ruin the party and tell you that they've won 20 in a row there in Foxborough, so I'm not even going to mention that. Okay.
Well, you just did.
Oh, no, man.
He said that to me earlier, and I said, "Well, that's got to end. That's got to end sometime."
Just seeing if you were listening. That's all.
Oh yeah.
He was listening. He was paying attention.
That's
Leighton, thank you very much. We appreciate the time.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Quinn, Leighton Vander, Lindsay, back to you.
So much, Brad. Leighton Vander showing a little fire, thinking ahead to, yes, the Patriots, but ahead for us. We're going to hear from another defensive star, how he has come into his own with Robert Quinn joining the guys next, right here on Cowboys Game Night.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Play the Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. It's your ticket for a chance to win big.
Welcome back into Cowboys game night. Nate Newton, Robert Quinn blasting on the scene this year for the Cowboys. Of course, he missed the first 2 games for suspension, but he is leading the team with 8.5 sacks. Did you expect this from him?
You know, when he played for the Rams, I knew he was special. And then he went to Miami and kind of lost himself. But he's refound himself, revitalized himself. He's doing some special things for the Dallas Cowboys. And when he does that little dance after the sack, man, that is a joy to my heart.
Snakes in the grass is what they call it. Let's check in now with Quinn alongside Sham and Babe Laufenberg.
Lindsey, thanks very much. One of the reasons the Cowboys prevailed in this game was kind of relentless pressure on Jeff Driskel, and no one did it better than Robert Quinn, and that's certainly been the case since the first game that he put on the uniform. And the first sack you had, I thought that your arms had gone all Inspector Gadget. It looked like he was getting away from you, and you were going for the ball, and then your arms seemed to get longer as you got him. You just seemed to have a relentlessness about you when you get closer to the quarterback. Is that conscious? Is it in your mind?
I don't think it's just me. You look at our whole D-line. Everyone is relentless. If the ball's still in play, that means we still got to keep hustling our tails off. I mean, you can talk about me, but you really look at the film, you see D-Law, Woody, and all these other guys flying across the field. So it's great to know that when you're hustling, you got your brothers hustling with you. So, I mean, that's what makes it so much fun, and that's kind of why you got to hustle even harder, because you don't want to sit there and have your brothers talk bad about you. So, I mean, it's been a fun ride so far.
And you talk about that first sack. Did you? I didn't see any way that Driskel was going to hang on to that football, because, I mean, he felt you, but he didn't really see. And you tried to strip it, and I think he got a piece of it. Did you think that ball was coming out at that point?
I did when I hit his arm. But no, like we said earlier, I mean, the guy runs a 4.4, 4.5, legit. So I mean, you go for the ball and he slips out and he take off on you. So at a moment in, at however fast it went, you just realize just get him down versus trying to do too much. So, I mean, at the end of the day, of course, I would like to get the ball out, but, I mean, I guess I'll take the sack also.
And I found it interesting, earlier in the week, you had said, hey, backup quarterback, don't go to sleep on this guy. That sounded like a guy that's been 9 years in the league and may have seen a backup quarterback or two come back and play pretty darn well. So where was the thought process on that? And did you feel like, in part, you were alerting your teammates as well as talking to the media at that point?
I mean, I'm just thinking about some of the great backups to come around. Wasn't Kurt Warner a backup?
Yeah, sure.
I think Tom Brady was a backup. Who else? Was Russell a backup?
A whole bunch of them.
A whole bunch of them. So, I mean, you never know. You look at the couple guys, Kyle Allen from Carolina and Minshew from.
Dang, you're up on your quarterbacks.
When guys like, you got to respect it when the opportunity's called, they're prepared. So you never know who's going to be the next Hall of Fame backup quarterback. So, I mean, me personally, I treat everyone with the same respect, because you go out there lackadaisical and then you literally get embarrassed. So, I mean, like I said, treat everyone with respect and earn your respect also.
Yeah. Another big sack today, Robert Quinn, big part of the win. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Robert,
for having me.
Lindsey, back to you.
Thanks, fellas. Robert Quinn's stellar performance. Cowboys hoping to get more out of him, but what you're getting next from us on the other side of this break, Dak Prescott, QB1, after a phenomenal day, joins Brad and Babe. Stay with us on Game Night.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Play the Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. It's your ticket for a chance to win big. This segment is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome back into Cowboys Game Night. Continuing here from the Star in Frisco. Phenomenal performance from Dak Prescott. 444 yards through the air. Is this team moving to be a pass-first offense? Well, let's hear more from Dak and the gang.
Lindsey, thanks. Not hard to find the man of the hour for the Cowboys in their win today. Dak Prescott is just shattering the record book every day, and so I think the first question is, and Babe pointed it out during the game, but at what point did you guys become a passing team?
I'm not sure. I love it, though. I love winning, and so if we have to pass it, we have to pass it that many times. I'm all for it. If the run game's working, I'm handing it off. I'm all for it. But it feels good to have a performance like that.
Before you look at the tape, there were so many interesting plays. Do you have any favorites? Do you have one that's, I like that play. I like the way that worked out.
I'm different. My favorite play was an incompletion. The deep 7 route to Tavon that Slay almost intercepted, and Tavon went and made the play and played defense and knocked it away. So it was a game-changing play to me right there. We're up 6 only at that point, and if they get that ball, they get momentum. So, but what that says, that gives me the confidence to do that, to be able to go back there and rip the balls that I see man-to-man, trust them. Without those guys making those plays, making those catches, and then when I don't make a great throw, helping me out, I wouldn't have that confidence.
Did you see Jarwin underneath on that play?
I mean, that's Tavon's 1, Jarwin's 2. Maybe it was a little greedy and should have got to 2. So, yeah.
The touchdown to Zeke on the little script screen.
Right.
I saw you point over at the sideline, and I just said, I guarantee you he's pointing at Kellen Moore saying, I told you, I told you, I told you. So who were you pointing at on the sideline after that one?
Yeah, Kellen.
Okay, see?
Yeah, that's something that we saw in the first half. We saw that play could work in the first half and had it called a few times throughout that second half, and they weren't giving us the right look and was killing it and getting out of it. And we got a particular look for it there and knew the blitz was coming, and first time they blitzed all night, we made them pay, and it was a great call.
That's great. I love that. Okay, so on that drive, too, you take the ball. It's a one-possession game. You get the ball at your own 16-yard line, and you go 84 yards. And I thought that was as big a drive as you had in the game. So what was your thinking on that drive there?
I mean, that's the epitome of this team, of being backed up and just saying one play at a time, stay within the moment, focus on our job and do our 111th, and you look up and you went 84 yards and you went up by 2 scores. So I credit the offense, credit all those guys who just stand within the moment and being their best on each play.
As well as you were moving the ball, did you ever feel like you had the game in hand?
No, this is the NFL. This is the NFL. If you think like that, it's trouble. I never really thought that we were going to lose it, but I can't say that I thought we just had it in hand. They were doing some good things on their offense, but as long as we had the ball, I felt confident. I'm glad we were able to come out with it.
You know who you play next?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, when did you know?
The moment they said 0-0.
Yeah, not till then?
I didn't think about it till then, but I knew a long time ago when the schedules came out.
And what does that mean to you to go up on that field and play against that team?
That's what this game's all about. If you want to win championships, you've got to be the championship team. And that's what we're going to do next week, is going up there to play a team that we're all too familiar with, of winning championships. So great quarterback, looking forward to just the atmosphere and just a big-time game.
All right, congratulations.
Yep,
that's a big game.
Well,
there's the head coach pushing you from the back. Thank you, Dak. Lindsay, back to you.
Thanks, fellas. Buffet back there looks awesome. We're taking another break here. When we come back, we will talk to another 100-yard receiver, Michael Gallup, who is really stepping into his own with Dak Prescott this season. That's right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Game night continues here. Nate Noon, I want to ask you, when Dak Prescott and the receivers continue to shine this much, are we looking at a pass-first offense?
It is. It is what it is. Each game dictates what it should be. We would like, yes, for it to be about Zeke in the run game, but this thing has evolved a little bit past Zeke. He's a team. He's a part of the team. And they'll throw him his balls, too.
Let's check in now with Michael Gallup, who is with Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg out at Ford Field, guys.
Lindsay, thank you. The leading receiving option for this team can change from week to week and sometimes within a game, and we know Amari Cooper's had an amazing year, and so is Michael Gallup, especially now that his knee is back to 100%. And so how would you have ever imagined that you could have 2 games in 1 year with 140 receiving yards and no touchdowns?
It's pretty wild. But I kind of think about it a little bit because it was like that at Colorado State for me. I'd have the most yards and wouldn't have any TDs, so I'm pretty used to it.
What happened today? Why was it so much in your favor today?
I just think I dug in this week, figured out the game plan a whole lot better, wanted to come out here and be aggressive, and I think that's what I did.
And Michael, when the game plan goes in and they throw up, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this, you say, well, that's for me, that one's not for me. So when the game plan went in, did you know there was a lot of Michael Gallup involved in it?
Well, honestly, it wasn't really, they were just really normal plays. I was just winning. So, and Dak was finding me, so he was doing a great job on that. So it was a good week for us.
And, people talk about quarterbacks getting hot and running backs getting a feel for the game. And I think on the first 3 plays, you had 4 receptions, or it felt like it. Yeah. So you came out on fire early on. Did you know, okay, this is going to be my day?
I mean, that always sparks a whole lot of confidence when you get the first catch, on the first drive as well. So having that, and just thinking about it, you're like, okay, we can do this. We can do this. We can go make some plays, and that's what I did.
Look to me, you nodded when I mentioned your knee. Yeah. We all saw what you did the first couple of weeks, and then you had a little setback that kept you off the field, and it looked like for maybe 2 games after you came back, you were trying to convince yourself that everything was going to be all right. Is that about right? And where are you now?
Definitely. I'm definitely back, to 100%. The only thing, obviously, you're going to get some swelling out of it, but nothing major. So just, having it up here, making sure that that you can cut and do all this stuff, that's a big thing.
We've asked it to the other guys before you, but going to New England, do you have to guard against trying to go up to Tom Brady and say, hey, Tom, can I get your autograph before we kick this thing off here?
I don't know about that one. I'll definitely, afterwards have to do that. But before the game, I don't think I'm too competitive for that.
But, a lot of people will look at this and it'll be a litmus test, basically.
Yeah.
And do you look at it like that, saying, hey, if we can go up to New England, a team that's won 20 straight at home, and beat them, it'll give us a lot of confidence going forward?
I mean, definitely. I mean, every win, but, that'd be a really big one for us if we could go out there, stun everybody. So that's what we're going to do this week, get back to work, try to do it.
And speaking of confidence, the last one, where's your confidence level personally and in the offense right now?
All-time high. All-time high. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, taking my notes in meetings, watching the film on my own, so it's at an all-time high.
Good to watch. Michael Gallup, thank you. Appreciate it. Lindsay, back to you.
Great interview, guys. To say an all-time high, that's just phenomenal to hear at this point of the season because people say you got to peak at the right time.
Yeah, right around Thanksgiving, you set the pace and you make that stretch run to get yourself to win that East. And so I'm with you, Michael Gallup. I'm on an all-time high. And get Tom Brady autograph for me.
This guy right here. Final break here from Cowboys Game Night. We'll be back after this.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. Reliant, an NRG company. U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Choose VA today. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
All right, you are looking at what is coming up for the Dallas Cowboys. New England is a midday game, but then you turn right around and play the Bills at home on Thanksgiving. Chicago's a night game on the road. This is tough coming up, Nate Newton.
Let me tell you why we have to win. It was a must-win today against these Detroit Lions. You got New England, number 1 rated defense. You got the Bills, a number 1 rated defense. You got Chicago and Mac, number 1 rated defense. When we play these teams, it's going to be outdoors. It's going to one at home with Buffalo, but the rest of them are outdoors. It's going to be mean weather, and we're going to have to be ready. This is a stretch run where we got to set the table to be able to win this NFC East going down the stretch in the last few weeks. So, man, it's going to be a great ride, and it's going to be fun, and the Dallas Cowboys should win them.
And these are these are great defenses that you're going up against.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Tom Brady, we're not even going to talk about him, but New England and Bill Belichick, where he's going to take away your number 1 player. He's got to decide whether it's going to be our quarterback or our running back. But he's going to take away your best player, and then they got the people to match up with us. So if we can get past New England, that should give us all the confidence we need going into the Thanksgiving game against the Buffalo Bills because they're one-sided. They're strong defensively, but offense, we should be.
You heard it here. Nate Newton. Yes. Cowboys got the momentum coming off of this week. We will see you next week following the Patriots game. Thanks for tuning in to Cowboys Game Night.